Since the dawn of time, man has only known of two health systems. For offline, it's the Mario-esque live system where losing all of your lives results in a game over. For online, it's, well, just a health bar. You lose it, you spawn somewhere else. Point is, it's alright but not entirely unique. Some developers take it into their own hands to implement a system with a little more variety, such as Bayonetta has an interesting live system because it initially seems to defy the design of the game until further thought is given to it. Lives are infinite, and each level is split almost evenly throughout with many checkpoints to pick up where you left off if you failed. It seems almost too easy for a game with incredibly challenging battles. Thing is, it has a heavy effect on your final ranking. For most Platinum games, this is the system used, and it is genius. Their games have a heavy focus on perfectionism and returning to a level in order to perfect it. They don't punish the player who isn't as good beyond giving them a bad rank at the end of a level. Dedicated players will return for the best possible rankings, but that requires not dying at all. That's where the difficulty comes in, and it's a perfect system for encouraging players of all skill levels to pick it up. Though it has not released yet, it's worth mentioning the game that inspired me to make this video. A little number by the name of Heat Signature, whose live system is integral to the experience. The idea in the game is that you fly up to other ships and take them over by eliminating the foes inside. If you mess up, you get knocked out and ejected out of the ship. What follows is roughly 30 seconds of frantic scrambling to remotely operate your ship in order to pick up your moving body at incredible speeds in the depth of space. What makes this so good is the emphasis on how important spaceships are in the game. It's all about taking other people's spaceships, so the idea that your own will save your life really ties into that theme. That is, if you survive. Rayman Origins and Rayman Legends are two of the finest platformers that I've ever had the joy of experiencing. The games are beautiful, the level design is brilliant, and the controls are fluid and precise. What really aids this experience is how they treat difficulty. Difficulty comes from each individual set of obstacles, not the level as a whole. As such, when you die, you're taken back to the beginning of the screen. Nothing lost but a few seconds of time, and you instantly get another attempt to throw yourself at the problem. This continues until you get past whatever is giving you difficulty. I cannot stress how important forgiving systems are for games with inherently difficult level design. It is the best way of encouraging players to continue while also being challenging. To coincide with this, we have Hotline Miami. The best 4 words to summarize this game are press R to continue. You will die a lot. You kill in 1 or 2 hits, but if you take a hit yourself, you're dead. That's it. Press R and you instantly start again. No loading, no brief pause, just straight back into the action. It's almost like you never died, except for the fact that the problem of the mobsters you need to kill have reappeared. The whole game puts you in a trance state, and not disrupting the flow is vital to the enjoyment of it. That's why such a simple life system works so well. Now, I could list off a ton of roguelike and roguelite games here because yes, their permadeath with sporadic permanent upgrade system is an entertaining one. It punishes the player by taking away the progress they made, but the random generation of levels means that every playthrough is different. I will give a notable mention to Rogue Legacy, where you can't customize your character. Instead, you have to pick one of 3 heirs to the previous character, who all have their inherent upsides and downsides. What makes this so entertaining is that you have to compensate for the character's less than stellar aspects, which can provide entertaining results. Dark Souls. Yeah. If you look at the Japanese box art, you know, the one that isn't boring as hell, you'll see the focal point of the whole game, the bonfires. Bonfires play a vital part in the game's lore and story, but they're also strewn throughout the map as rest stops and checkpoints. If you die, you get sent back to the last one you stopped at, and all of the enemies reappear. However, it's not like time is reversed, no. You lose your souls, perhaps one of the most important aspects of the game. Not only because they serve as currency, but also because they're the motivation for your character defeating the many grueling bosses that the game provides. You drop your souls where you die, and it's your job to reclaim them by repeating your efforts from before, but not failing this time. If you die before reaching them, they're lost forever. So don't mess up. Shovel Knight adopts a similar system for a very different game. In the vein of classic platformers such as Mega Man, the game is obviously pretty difficult. When you die, you drop a fair portion of your money where you died. This means that you not only have the pressure of completing the level after dying, but also of regaining lost ground to regain what you lost. When you get back to where you were and reclaim the spoils of war, you feel immense satisfaction, before dying once more and repeating the whole exhaustive process. You can also choose to either use checkpoints or destroy them for more money. Guess which one is insanely foolish? Left 4 Dead uses lives and recovering in a way that complements the co-op nature of the game. If your health hits 0, you get a secondary health bar that gradually decreases over time. You're incapacitated and must be recovered by a teammate to continue. Doing this gives you part of your health back and allows you to continue as before. Of course, this only works so long as your teammates are actually helpful.
I'm reloading. Shit, get inside.
Payday 2 utilizes a similar system due to the first game's roots on the Source engine, using Left 4 Dead assets. However, the second game provides interesting permutations of this system. For example, with the right skills, you can place down first aid kits that will automatically revive you if you stay close to them when down. Another skill gives you 6 seconds of unlimited ammo, allowing you to clear an area before your teammates arrive to help. You can buy a skill that makes hostages revive you when you're down. My personal favourite is a skill that allows you to yell other players back up, instead of sitting immobile for several seconds in order to bring your teammates back. Of course, some games do use traditional life or respawn systems, instead choosing to vary up how health is used in the game. While we're here, I think a few honourable mentions are in order. Assault Android Cactus is a top-down shooter that doesn't really have a full health system. Instead, you have Battery, which is essentially a time limit to complete levels in. More time can only be gained by killing enemies, and taking enough hits knocks you out, which can be costly. Luftrausers also adopts a unique setup, considering it's a side-on shooter with regenerating health. Taking hits or colliding with enemies drains your health, and flying without shooting for a few seconds brings it back. This makes firing your weapon a gamble, risking your survivability for a chance at a quick kill. The presentation also sells this system, with a circle around your ship showing how much health you have left. When you let it recharge, it plays a sound so you don't have to look for visual cues. With a blip at the end, this is oddly satisfying. Payday 2 is once again getting a mention, but it is deserved. The game has a plethora of different skills and perks that provide health. For example, a set of perks that give you health for collecting ammo or giving you different additional health types for dealing damage. Using these in conjunction with your teammates' perks is what gives the health in the game so much more depth than a linear green bar. The recent Doom is also a good example of a unique health system. If you're caught in a firefight and you're on low health, the only way you can gain health back is by executing enemies. This means the answer to too much fighting is even more fighting. Something about the violent mindset being taken to the extreme ties in incredibly well with the inhuman aggression of the Doom games. Finally, as seems to be custom lately, I must mention Titanfall 2. Namely, the battery system, where you can give batteries to friendly titans or your own to boost their health. What makes this so interesting is that they have to be stolen from enemy titans. A risky process with a huge payoff. Instead of health being graciously given to titans, the game encourages a battle for the control of health, so long as the titans are on the battlefield. It's important that I stress that games can be completely fine with your typical regenerating health pack or 1-up life system. Countless games throughout the years have thrived on such well-established formats. However, when a developer brings something new to the table, it's always a pleasant surprise. So this is to those who tried something new.